YouTube is still going. Change.org takes out a petition criticizing Collective Shout. There's plans for a YouTube boycott, however, more companies are joining in the censorship. Clippies are appearing in comic sections all around YouTube. BetaNet had a live stream, USA is pushing back against payment processors, and Collective Shout got criticized and dragged through the mud on Twitter, which does not mean much. This organization that originally got Visa and MasterCard to start pressuring other companies to their whims has been called out, has been Twitter fried, has been, and now this group is taking out some derogatory terms from a playbook, and calling this movement against them, whatever those things are, a lot of nasty stuff. I'm gonna say, do not listen to these people because everyone's criticizing them. And this group is responsible for a lot of the attacks that have happened on internet websites. Collective Shout is an organization that claims to defend women. However, some of the games that they've attacked include Grand Theft Auto 5, 6, and Detroit Become Human, which are not games that they should be at all concerned about. Now, commentary YouTube is starting to jump onto this, and they're saying we already won. Why are they saying this? Well, it's because the US has taken some action against payment processors threatening to debank companies based on reputational damage. But here's the thing. Does anyone really believe this? This thing that said payment processors can no longer pressure, it takes effect. It goes into effect in 180 days. I'm telling you, that is not much. And all the other countries, UK and Australia, as well as the European Union, we have seen no action from them. In fact, a lot of these governments are proposing censorship in the first place. YouTube still plans to roll out this August 13th age verification thing. I have seen no plans of YouTube backing down from this still. And even if the payment processors suddenly couldn't pressure YouTube anymore, YouTube still wants this. It's not like they're gonna stop. However, let's look at some good news on what's happening to combat against this. BetaNet hosted a live stream that I attended where they moved it to Discord, so I joined their Discord. And they said, you should record what we're saying so that you can spread the word to others. We want you to record. So I have like an hour of footage, but I won't be able to release it here. I won't be able to, it will need a lot of editing. So you guys will have to tell me if you want to see that. But they were trying to explain this website that is being coded in a way that we can understand. So I'll tell you a little bit about what BetaNet does. Most websites on Google use HTTP, and if it's secure, then it's HTTPS. Now, I heard that BetaNet is going to use something else than HTTP. It's a website that can be downloaded from the Raven. Raven is the one who developed BetaNet. Their website, and it can be found on GitHub. And websites can be added onto this alternate internet, and changes to it are made by a voting community. And people who donate to BetaNet can have a larger sway, as well as people who have been on the site longer, but not in the way you think. You see, it uses a logarithm. For each vote that you get, you have to spend double the amount of money. For 1, it might be 2, and for 3, it would be 8. And you'd have to spend more money than anyone has to get any large amount of votes. Because this is to stop people from creating a bunch of throwaway accounts to rig votes and changes on the site. Now, another thing about BetaNet is that it wants to be more heavy on privacy. Normally, if you're trying to connect to a website through Google, your machine goes to Google, Google goes back to you, and then you go back to Google. It's what they explained it as is a three-way handshake to make sure that they're legitimate and not trying to hack you. However, they explain that this process is unencrypted, and so internet providers can see it. So BetaNet wants to encrypt basically your internet traffic, and also BetaNet wants to look similar to internet traffic, so that if an internet provider wants to look in to see activity, BetaNet will not stick out, really. And I also heard from their Discord stage that they mix up a lot of users' internet activity into one pile like spaghetti, and so anyone trying to look in will have a hard time deciphering anything. But all this stuff is completely paraphrased multiple times, so if you want to learn about this, actually, I will try to link the website in the description so that you can read about it. But next, the Clippy movement is spreading. You can find Clippies in many comment sections on YouTube. And for videos related to the movement, as much as 1 in 5 comments can be from a person with a Clippy profile picture. For Louis Rosman, it was almost all of them. And I want to clarify some of his intentions that I missed in the last video. This isn't just about YouTube. This is about all types of companies doing things that intentionally piss off the consumers. And it is to attack censorship in general. Alright, so everything that I've said so far has been either clarifications or some good news. But now here's the first bad news. Accounts on Adobe and Patreon have been getting taken down with no prior notice, being banned from the platform. Now, a disclaimer, these accounts were making not safe for work art. The YouTuber who I got this information from does talk about these artists. They talk about Twitter artists. There's some suggestive art in that video. However, there is nothing 18 plus, so you won't get someone banging on your door if you want to watch that video, but I put disclaimers here and in the description. But the circumstances in which these accounts were banned, their accounts got banned with no prior notice. Everything they stored on those websites gone, and they did not explicitly break any rules. With the Adobe one, they were not showing this to anyone else, and they still got thrown into a fire. And regardless of what Adobe was trying to do, they have a system that watches you constantly, and they can censor those it wants whenever they feel like. Patreon has something similar, and so they are really hiding their ulterior motives, which is to start cracking down on anything that criticizes them. And from that same video, PayPal was doing it, but it is even worse. This is a payment processor. This guy had money on PayPal, and they took his money and his account away with reasoning that is 2 sentences. He had unusual activities. This shit is theft! This actually makes me angry. I just want to give a moment of silence to respect all those that are being harmed by this plague. And there's even more. Change.org removed a petition against Collective Shout. However, something they have not done is they did not end the petition to stop YouTube's age verification, and I now have it linked in the description. So to end off, this is bad, and YouTube does not deserve all the traffic that it's getting, right? So if they pass this age verification check, there are some people talking about boycotting YouTube, not using it. But people are still going to want to watch videos, right? So what's the alternative? I have some alternatives, and this is what I was talking about at the end of my last video. There was this video that blew up that I linked in the description. It's been a few busy days since I watched it, but I think it's called Grombly. Now, it is very limited compared to YouTube, and also, because of the unexpected traffic, this is undergoing server overloads right now, so I have another video that talks about a bunch of other YouTube alternatives. There is this guy who was audibly angry at YouTube. Actually, he was audibly furious, boiling. And he suggested every good YouTube alternative. And it's short, and it's sweet, and it's still packed with information. That is all I have time to cover today. Now, when you click one of these links in the description, it will take you off, but then you might come back. I encourage you, every time you come back, just let your device sit and watch the video again multiple times so that this can reach more people, because people need to hear about this. And also, I've not seen anyone else cram together whole summaries of information and news that's actually happening. So, see ya.